So what do you get when you cross a blonde, an American, and an Irishman? You get Somewhere in France, the film I'm about to talk about. Hey everybody, Benjamin Symons here with UK Film Review, and today we are going to talk about a short film called Somewhere in France. Now this is directed by Fred Cavender. It's also written by Fred Cavender and Lloyd Lewis also provided the original score, and it's starring Melissa Rendell, Dan Rock and Marc Danif. Sorry if I said your name wrong. So this film is described as being a French Western road trip stoner comedy, and the basic premise of this film is these three main characters are in France to do a drug deal. That's as simple as it is. Now this drug deal goes wrong when the people that they end up meeting to do the exchange are the police. Things get a little bit out of hand. They end up kidnapping a policewoman and they end up on the run, seeking shelter, and all the sorts of things that would, that you can imagine happening in a film like that. So I think from a technical standpoint, the film looks great. It's been shot really well. The sound is good. I think it's a really well-made, professional-looking film. I think that some of the writing is really good. I think there are some really interesting ideas. I think it's acted well. Everything that you're seeing is really good. I think that the content I'm not 100% sure on. I think that it's trying to be a lot of things. The opening few minutes when it's sort of setting the scene. The music is very heavy on it being a Western. You feel like you're in a Western straight away, and that's very believable. But that's only really for the first few minutes, and then it shifts into this, heist movie where they've kidnapped a policewoman and they're on the run. And then it sort of morphs into the sort of the drug side of things where everyone's getting stoned. I will add though, not that I'm a drug user, as you can tell by my professional appearance. They only have one spliff in this film, and it gets around a lot. A lot of people get stoned off that one spliff, so whatever they're smoking must be pretty damn decent. The negatives, I would say, is that it's in the description. The French Western road trip stoner comedy, I think it's trying to be too many things, and I don't think that it's ever really excelling at any one of those things. It's a Western, yes, it's a Western for a few minutes. The biggest thing about it is that it's French. There's a lot of French speaking without any subtitles, which I thought was really cool. It's a road trip. I don't know, would call it a road trip. I'd call it evading police in a car for a while, maybe. Stoner, yeah, people get stoned, but it's not like, when I hear stoner road trip, I think of films like American Pie or Road Trip, for an example, like 90s comedy films with frat boys and cheerleaders getting drunk and going to parties and trying to have sex and all that kind of stuff. Comedy, there are some moments that are funny, but they're not going to make you laugh. Maybe I'm dead inside. When I watched it, I felt like there were elements of it that were amusing, but not too amusing in the way that would make me do anything more than my blank expression. It's not a laugh out loud comedy. There are some amusing lines and some funny things happen, but they aren't going to make you laugh. So I say that the biggest thing, the overall thing for me was the sense of a lack of a real arc of a story of what the purpose of the film is. There is a beginning, there is a middle, and there is an end, but there isn't much of a journey or a resolution, or there's no major lessons learned. There's a nice moment where one of the captors of this policewoman, has been treating her very nicely, and as a token of doing that, she basically saves his ass, at the end. But there's not a feeling of that person has then learnt that maybe they're in the wrong trade, or that they're going to turn their life around and better themselves. It just kind of ends as it started, without giving spoilers or anything. It felt like there was something missing there in terms of someone becoming better than what they were when they started. But to summarise, Somewhere in France is a good, fun watch. You know, it's a short film, it's 20 or so minutes long, it's entertaining, you know, it's well acted, it's well made. You know, there's no doubt in my mind that you would watch it and you'd feel like you'd watched any other, you know, high budget professional looking movie. It's a well made film. There are just a few issues with them trying to cram too much into it for me, and a slight lack of there being an arc or a journey of a character bettering themselves or learning a lesson in that sense. But a good, entertaining watch. If I had to rate it out of 10, I would rate it a 6.5. So well done to all involved. I hope you make more, and thank you for watching this UK film review.